Hi, I'm Vanessa Webster. Many of you know me, some of you don't. But I'm here to share a story. Some of you know my story, some of you don't. And the sole purpose of this video is to shed light on my story, my testimony. The purpose of it is to shed light on some things that I've been through. Also to give a voice to some things that I've personally gone through, and to inform some people about things that are happening in the church that or that happened to me, that many people hear about but just don't know about. So that's the reason for this video. I want to be very transparent and open about what I've been through, and also to let the enemy know that he's not won, that I am victorious because of what I've been through. It's a list of things that I learned. And one of the things that I had to deal with was just saying the word divorce. I was like, I can't be divorced. Not me, I divorced? Like, that word was just like a scarlet letter, like a big deal on my forehead, divorced. The thought of getting a divorce was earth-shattering to me. I couldn't even wrap my mind around it, but I knew that this was the direction that this was heading. My ex-husband and I kept in contact every once in a while, and there was a reoccurring theme. Questions like, so when is this little adventure of yours going to be over? I'm like, this is not an adventure. I left. I was not safe. I had to leave. Questions like, so where are you going to put your furniture when you come back? I'm like, I'm not coming back. I can't come back. Or come back, and then if I hit you again, then you could leave. No, I can't take a chance like that. You had 28 years to make the decision to not hit me again. And you want me to come back, and you're saying, if you hit me again? So I'll be walking on pins and needles until, or if it does happen. I can't do that. So I said, no, I can't do that. I can't. So I had to block the number, because I'm like, I can't keep getting the phone calls about, when are you coming back? When is this going to be all over? So counseling really helped me get through this. I signed up for this counseling. I don't even know what you want to call it, but it was called Healing Academy. It was online. It was virtual. It was with other people there, but then I had a chance to do a lot of one-on-one with the therapist, who's also a believer, and dig through a lot of stuff. A lot of the trauma. And I realized that this was almost like a death, because you go through grief, you go through bitterness, you go through the anger, you go through all the stages. And I went through all the stages of crying, asking, like, God, why couldn't he love me enough? God, what did I do? Blaming myself. What did I do? What could I have done differently? Maybe I didn't do this, or maybe I didn't do that. Blaming myself for this. And, all of that I went through. But I'm glad to say that I'm on the other side. And my life, when I tell you, took such an amazing turn afterwards. Things started happening in my life that surprised me. Opportunities started opening. I got increases at work. Opportunities at work started to open up. Musical things started opening up. And one of the things I talked to my therapist about was, I write a lot of music. A lot of the music that I'm doing, I've written a lot of music. And I said, a lot of the music came out of many of the things that I was going through. I was writing some of the stuff with a swollen lip. I was writing some of the stuff bruised or whatever. And after I left, one of the things I said, I stopped writing. I couldn't write. And it made me so sad that I couldn't write. And I'm like, no, God, I need that gift back. Please, God, I want it back. I stopped dreaming. I'm like, God, what is this? And I realized it was a time for me to just cleanse and to screw my head on the right way and figure out what was going on in my life. And I remember the very first song I wrote after leaving. And it was, Oh, How He Loves Me. That song was so liberating for me. Oh, how He loves. Oh, how He loves. That song was the first song I wrote after leaving. And I saw God's love in real time. In real time. I saw His love engulf me. I saw His love make ways for me and open doors for me, and opportunities have been created for me because God loved me so much. So that's the gist of my story. God loves me. I know I'm one of His favorite children. I know that. I joke with my friends all the time about, I'm gonna be in like the third row of heaven. I have to be at least in the third row. I have to be in a single digit number. If you're in the double digit numbers in heaven, something's not right. And if you're in a triple digit, you barely made it in. You back there by the bathroom, you barely made it in. But I know I'm in the single digit numbers in heaven, in that single digit row. I can see the disciples from my seat. I joke about that, but I say that to say, God is sovereign. He does all things well. And I look at the what I've been through, and I say, God, I used to say, God, why? God, why? And I'm reminded of a pastor, Gary Oliver. His son had died. And I remember him telling the story. He was on his back porch, lay on the floor, asking God, why? And God gave him an answer. And as soon as I heard that answer, it registered in my mind. And God brought that back when I asked the question about why I had to go through what I went through. And his answer, God's answer to him was, because I could trust you with it. Whew, I'm not gonna cry, but God trusted me with this experience. He knew I wouldn't walk away. He knew I wouldn't turn my back on him. He knew that I would hold on. I would hold on. And God gave me joy in the middle of my sorrow. That song that I wrote, Even Now, He's given me joy for my sorrow. Even now, He's given me hope for tomorrow. He's preparing me for the things I cannot see. Even now, He's given them to me. I wrote that song in the middle of all this turmoil. And I look back at it now, and it ministers to me now. So the gist of this is, nothing is wasted with God. Nothing. Nothing is wasted on God. I walked away from this. Many women don't. I remember sharing my story a while back in Atlanta, and the amount of women that came to me and said, I wish I was brave enough to leave like you did. And these are women who are older than me, some of them, about my age, still dealing with it, said, I wish I was brave enough to leave. God gave me the strength. I mustered up all the strength that I had to leave. So counseling I needed to restore my own strength through counseling, because I used up every piece that I had to leave. So I've paid for this oil on my life. I've paid for it. There is a sound that comes from my worship, and I'm not bragging, but it comes from an experience that I've had with God because of what I've been through, and I watched God's hand. God protected me. God protected me in the middle of what I thought was the worst thing that could ever happen to me. God kept me. He kept me. He kept me. So when I worship, it's coming from a place because I know what he did. I know what he did for me. I know what he protected me from. Oh, many a days, many a nights, I would lay to sleep and say, God, today got to be the last time. It has to be. And time went on, but God kept me safe. So that is my story. I pray that it's a blessing to somebody that's listening. I pray that anyone that's dealing with the same thing, there is hope. There is hope. If you need to talk to me, I am more than willing to talk, to share, to give some insight, to give some wisdom, to just be a listening ear. I am more than willing to be that for anybody that needs it. So reach out. I'm here. God bless you. I love you. Thank you for all of my friends. Let me just say this before I close. To my friends that were there for me, I could never, ever repay you. I don't want to start naming names, but there are pivotal people in my life that God surrounded me with that helped me through this time. They helped me. They pulled me through. I remember crying on my friend's couch, just laying there crying, and they would just let me come to the house and just cry, and then get my things and drive home. I needed that, and God surrounded me with the right people. So to my friends that have been there for me, thank you so much. To family, I can't even describe how important it is to have family around. They've been my rock. So to the church, thank you. I remember sitting down with someone, he was like, how are you still going to church after all you've been through? And I'm going to close with this. I said, I can't turn my back on the church. The church didn't do this to me. I said, I've gone to church with flawed people all my life. I can't turn my back on the church. This was a flawed individual. So I can never turn my back on the church. The church is God's bride. I can't turn my back on the church. There are flawed people in the church. There are flawed people at your work. You go every day. So I can't blame the church. I can just love God, love God's people, and wait to get to my seat in the third row in heaven. Thank you.